What's up, y'all? We're back again, finally, with another tier list. This is kind of just to open up the next season. Gonna do a few tier lists. Maybe we'll do a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver. But I like to kind of start with the head coach because I think it's really important, and people don't really talk about it. I did one last year, and I had some really atrocious takes. So we're gonna just try to do better this time. But yeah, let's just get into it. So starting off with Brian Schottenheimer, he's the new hire for the Cowboys. I mean, he hasn't done anything yet. He's unproven. He hasn't coached a game, but he was the OC. Dallas, they had a below average offense, so for all sake and purposes, I'm just gonna have to give him a C tier. Next up, we have Kevin Stefanski, and well, I just feel like he is being wasted in Cleveland. I feel like he is an amazing coach, but I think that team is so atrocious on so many ends that I feel like just year by year his reputation deteriorates. But not because he's bad, but it's just because the team is just terrible. But I'll give him a B. Even though he is the coach of the year, I don't really think he deserved it, but he's a good coach. Now someone who is a very good coach, we have Kevin O'Connell. He's gonna go. It's tough. I want to say A tier. No, I think he's earned the S tier. He's only been a coach for like 3 years. I think he started out in 22 with the Vikings, and he's just brought him a 13-win season, a 14-win season, a less than stellar season in 23. But overall, he's been amazing. So I don't really see any reason why he's not elite. He's an amazing coach. He coached freaking Sam Darnold back from the dead. So I mean that's good enough for anybody. Next up, we have Sean Payton. Historically, I want to put him up in S tier because obviously everybody knows what Sean Payton did over the last 20 years, but I'm going to put him in A tier just because this is literally his second year in Denver, and we just got to see how he does with Bo Nix again, so that's all I really have to say about him. Who the hell is this guy? This is, God, I don't remember who this is. This is Dave Canales, I think, right? Yeah, this is Dave Canales. He's good. I give him a B. He did a better job at coaching Bryce than Frank Reich did. Frank Reich was absolutely terrible, an absolute trash bag. I'm so glad he's not coaching in the NFL anymore, from what I know. Raheem Morris? I don't know if I put him down in D tier, but I don't like him. I said this when he got hired a year ago, and I'm gonna stick by it. I just do not like him. I don't understand, I guess defensive scheme. They at the time they were more of a defensive team, but brought in a new quarterback. You got a high-powered offense. I feel like you shouldn't hire a defensive guy for that. And for what he has produced, he hasn't really done a whole lot. I mean, it's his first year, though. I can't really judge that. Ooh, this one's fun. Brian Dable, my guy. I'm going to put him up in B tier, even though might be a little bit of bias, but just because, kind of like with Stefanski, I think just with the teams that he's working with, I think it's just been absolutely awful. They let Saquon walk, and that team is atrocious, or was atrocious at the time, probably still is now. But I can't put all the blame on Dable. I think his play calling is really good. He has an amazing set of play calling, and that defense. We'll see how it does next year. If that defense lets up again, then I'm gonna assume he's gonna get fired. And if they don't win more than 4 to 5 games on that diabolical ass schedule, goddamn. Campbell's an S tier. What are we talking about here? Honestly, all the NFC North coaches are really good, but Dan Campbell might be the best coach in football. But I don't know if he's the best, but he's up there for sure. Another NFC North coach that came from the Lions, Ben Johnson, unproven, but I like him more than Schottenheimer, so I'm gonna put him up in the B tier. Oh, this is a fun one. Vrabel finally came back. He was a consultant with the Browns last year, and now he's back as the head coach of the Titans. Give him an A. He's still the same old Vrabel. I mean, I feel like the team coming from Tennessee to New England, I think it's better. So for that reason, just from 23 when he got fired, I think to 25, I think that's a lot better of a team. So I'll give him that. I think he's going to do great with Drake May. It seems like the kind of quarterback that I think he would like to work with. I don't think, even though Ryan Tannehill did have some good years in Tennessee, I really don't think that was an amazing pairing between the two. He's another defensive coach, but this time it actually works because the Patriots are a defensive team for sure. I think this is Callahan. I thought this was Callahan, but that's Canales. I think this is Callahan. He's all right. I mean, Again, like Stefanski, like Dable, he was working with an absolutely terrible team. But just the way he talks about his players and like the amount of like clips that have been farmed off this guy, I just have reason to believe he's not gonna last a while in Tennessee. And that's the other thing, like I don't understand why NFL teams are so quick to fire coaches. I feel like they have to have time to build up a culture and kind of build up their roster, and I just don't. I mean, I'm sure he's gonna get fired year 2. I guarantee he's getting fired this year. But if they don't explode and they don't do amazing, but I think he's gonna probably get fired, and I just don't get it. I don't like him as a lot, but at the same time, I think he's gonna get laid off too soon, and he'll probably find another opportunity somewhere. Tennessee is a shithole. Who's this? Dan Quinn. I'm not gonna put him in S tier, but he's definitely an A tier coach for sure. I mean, he was great in Dallas as a DC. Brought into Washington to be more of a defensive coach and ended up having the offense be the one that was. It's funny because he was the DC in Dallas. He came to Washington, and Washington was pretty mediocre defensively, but offensively with Jaden Daniels, Zach Ertz, McLaurin, all those guys, I mean, they were amazing. They made it all the way to the NFC Chip game where they gave up 55 points to the Eagles, and I mean, I think Dan Quinn had a lot to do with that, and also Cliff Kingsbury as their OC, which he was not a great head coach, but he's a great coordinator. I think there's some coaches that are like that. I think that do better as coordinators. Like I think Raheem Morris probably will go down as a better coordinator than a coach. Same with McDaniels. Same with Kingsbury. Honestly, probably Steichen too, but we'll get to him later. We got Andy Reid. Still probably the best coach in football, or at least up there. He's either 1, 2, or 3. Like there's 3 that I have in mind, but he's definitely 1, 2, or 3. Who's this? This is Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore. I mean, he coached a great offense, but it's like he's still unproven. I gotta put him in the B tier. He's kind of like with Ben Johnson on that one. Got D'Amico Ryans. I'm not convinced yet. I mean, he's a great coach. He kind of brought the Texans back. They had 2 phenomenal drafts, maybe a 3rd phenomenal draft, so we'll see how that goes. But I don't know how it'll go going forward with him. Next we have Gannon. He was better than Kingsbury. There's that. He was better than Kingsbury for sure. But I just don't feel like that's saying a lot. I think this is his first year. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is his first year. And if not, then I guess I might even drop him lower, but I'm not gonna fact check that. Now, here's a controversial take. I don't think Todd Bowles is a good coach. I'm not gonna put him in the D tier or anything, but I don't think he's good. He's not. He's kind of. I feel like he's holding the Buccaneers back a little bit. Very questionable play calling, mediocre defense. Good offense, but that's more attributed to 2 elite wide receivers, a good O-line, a good quarterback, rather than just the coaching itself. Who we got? Cohen. I don't know how to feel about Liam Cohen because, again, he's coaching. He was coaching a good offense at Tampa, and now he's going into Jacksonville with a worse team. For what I predict, I'm gonna say he's gonna go in the C tier. Who do we have here? We got. I'm missing a few people. Oh no, I don't think I'm missing anyone. Pete Carroll, A tier. He's the same old Pete Carroll. He's not quite top 5 anymore, like he might have been in the past, but he's still an elite coach. This is Mike McDonald, I think. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is Mike McDonald, and I'll put him. He did a good job with the Seahawks last year. I think, their team got better. I think people say it got worse because they lost their receivers, but I actually think it got better. They drafted wide receiver in the draft. They drafted a lot of O-line in the draft. And Sam Darnold, I think, is an improvement over Geno at this very moment. They got an okay running back room. They brought in Cooper Kupp. Hopefully he can stay healthy. And they still have JSN. So, and MVS. He's literally your 3. You know what I mean? Matt LaFleur. I got shit for this last year, but I'm going to stick by it. He's an A-tier coach, close to S-tier, but he's definitely an A-tier coach. Coached a team with no real, weapons, really. I mean, offensively, they should not be as good as they are. Jordan Love, he's a great quarterback in and of himself, but you know, like, what do they have? They have Golden. They got Golden, Dontavian Wicks, Watson. They got shit. Oh no, they got a few guys in that wide receiver room. No real dominant weapons. They're running a 2 tight end system, and with that offense, and they have a good defense too. But with that offense, I feel like they shouldn't be as good as they are, and I think a lot of that does have to do with play calling, with coaching, and he's a good coach. What can I say? Hasn't won too many playoff games. I think he's only won 1 playoff game since he's been a coach. I don't know how long he's been coaching though. That's a good question. Tomlin, put him at the B tier. He's the same old Tomlin, but with him, I just feel like he's not like. There's nothing up or down about him. He either gets a 9-8 season or a 10-7 season, and either he just misses the playoffs barely or gets first rounded. And what is there else to say about him? I don't like him as a coach at the moment. Again, he coaches a great defense, but he has never been able to figure out his offense ever since Big Ben Toucher left. So, I mean, how much credit can you give a guy if he hasn't made any major improvements in the last, 20 years? Sean McVay, he's my one and two. I think he's a genius of a coach, and he's young. He's like 35. I know he doesn't want to coach for very long, according to rumors. Like, he doesn't want to coach forever, but like, for how young he is, how little experience compared to these other guys, like, he literally might be the best coach in football. Like, he's in that 3 tier with Reed and him and someone else in this list. And like, it's just like, just shocks me. And I feel like given maybe 10 more years, he's gonna be the best coach in football. Sirianni, oof. This guy gets so much shit for no reason, and I don't understand it. He's a douchebag, yeah, but like, there are a lot of douchebags in pro sports who are also still really good. I'm gonna put him in an A tier though. Aaron Glenn, unproven, in this same tier with these 3 guys. Unproven, but came from good teams. He coached a better defense than before. I know the Lions defense has always had some spots in it, but he's coached a good defense. Oh no, it's Sean McDermott, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm somewhat of a Bills fan myself, but I'm gonna have to put him in the B tier. Like, I think he's kind of like Tomlin. He's kind of like, yeah, he's kind of like a Tomlin. I just feel like he's holding his team back from being better. I just think when playoffs come around, late season, I think the Bills, they just go off the rails, and not in a good way. Who's this? Zach Taylor? This guy's a fucking idiot. I don't know. I feel like he's not as bad as these other guys, but I'm putting him in the only person in D tier because he should have been fired literally like a year ago, and 2 years ago he should have been fired, and yet he has not been. He can't coach a defense for shit, and that's not entirely his fault, but the offense is carried by the players that are actually there. The play calling is really questionable at times, and this guy probably should have been fired 2 years ago. Even though, again, like, those teams have gotten far, literally went to a Super Bowl and then went to a championship game back to back, but like, I wouldn't credit him for that. We got Mike McDaniel. I'm tempted to put him in the C tier, but I'm gonna put him in the B tier. He's coached really good teams, but again, I think it's like he's like a less bad version of Zach Taylor, because I don't think the roster is as loaded as the Bengals in terms of just offense, and I think he's done more with his offense, play calling wise, and like miscellaneous stats, like just little things. I think he's done more with than Zach Taylor, and he's found a lot more success, especially in recent years. Even though I think they missed the playoffs last year, I don't even think they were in the playoffs this year, but whatever. Steichen, he's just questionable. I just need to find people to put in D tier, and I just don't think it's fair to put rookies in D tier. So I'm gonna put him as in sort of the bad coach tier. I get, like, he's solid, but again, it's like Zach Taylor. I feel like he should have been fired a long time ago. God, how long has he been coaching? Maybe he hasn't even been coaching that long. Maybe I'm being too harsh, but I'm not gonna fact check that. Shanahan's an A tier, not an S tier. I almost said S tier. No, he's not an S tier. But Shanahan, he's kind of like, again, he's one of those coaches who I feel like might levy some of the production from his team, but I don't think it's as bad as like a Zach Taylor, a Steichen, or a Stefanski. I think he's creative for sure. I just think he makes some questionable decisions, but listen, he's made 2 Super Bowls. He's made like 5 freaking championship games, and I know that again, a lot of that has to do with that roster, and especially at the time, how good that defense was pre 2025. Like but you can't take that away from a guy. You know, when it's that many, like that many championships, that many Super Bowls. You got to give some credit to the coach. You know. And Harbaugh, I'm gonna the older Harbaugh brother, I'm gonna put him at the S tier, and then I'm gonna put Jim at the A. And I know he's just a first year guy, but I want to more talk about Jim than John, because everybody knows about John Harbaugh. Everybody knows how good he is. But more so I want to talk about Jim Harbaugh, because like he literally brought that Chargers team from like a 3, I think they had 4 or 5 wins. I think they might have had 5, not 4, but they were a 5-win team, went all the way to 11, and I know they shit their pants in the playoff game against the Houston Texans, but a guy who can bring you up like 6-7 years or 6-7 games worth like better record. Coming in his first year, he hasn't coached in the NFL since like 2016 or whatever, 17. Hasn't coached for years in the NFL, and he's doing that instantly. Like, this is a guy who's gonna build on that team, and he's gonna just make it better every year. That's my prediction. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Just trying to figure out what to upload. I'm not gonna lie, everything's kind of dry. We're in the sports off season. I'm not really like a huge NBA guy, so I don't really want to talk about that too much. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little tier list. I just want you guys to see where I've ranked these coaches, because I got so much shit for it last year, and I thought it was kind of funny. So, see you.